So some of you requested this video, but I kind of felt like I had to make it anyway. Welcome to my What's on my iPad Pro video for 2019 here. I've had this device for a little over a week with the iPadOS beta installed, and I kind of want to go over kind of what my setup is like, what apps I have installed, and how I use this device on the day-to-day. But before we continue here, I'd really appreciate it if you'd smash that like button, leave me a comment, whether it's a question or an opinion. Any interaction is great because the algorithm loves that, so it really does help me get my videos to more people. So again, any interaction is greatly appreciated. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into what's on my iPad Pro for 2019. Alright, so let's jump into what's on my iPad. I don't have a script or anything. I'm just going to kind of go through here, keeping it real with you guys. So let's unlock with Face ID, and here we are here. You might see my head pop in a couple times. I apologize. But anyway, we're on the home screen now. I have one of the default Apple wallpapers. I really like what they have. This was the one that was actually on the iPad Pro's box, I think, and I think it looks phenomenal. So let's just kind of jump in there. Yeah, so this is what I got going on. It is this one. So yeah, I enjoy this one. People were asking me about my wallpaper. There you go. As you can see, I have like the standard like Apple apps, iBooks, FaceTime, calendar, whatever. Boring stuff, but I do use Google Maps. I don't like Apple Maps. Apple Maps makes me nervous, even though it's probably perfectly fine to use and I'm just being, irrational. People were getting lost with it, so I just prefer Google Maps, and that's just what I kind of default to on my iPhone and on my iPad if I ever wanted to look up a location here. Moving into my folder here titled Commerce, I have the Best Buy app I use from time to time to see if there's any good deals on electronics and whatever. Like, here's the 6th generation iPad I was looking at. I have the Amazon app. Who doesn't? It's just the best thing ever. You can order stuff and it arrives in a day. As we know with Amazon Prime, I love it. I order too many things off Amazon. Too many things. Too many accessories and devices and cables and whatever. As you can see, I was looking up USB Type-A to USB Type-C cables. Next up, we have Edmunds. I was looking for a used car at one point, but at the moment I'm not. But yeah, this is a great app to find a great deal in your area to see if there's any used cars that are up your alley in your price range and whatnot. Then I have the eBay app, pretty typical stuff. I was looking for a 12 to 35 lens from Panasonic the other day. I'm looking to buy a used one, so I might pick one of these up off of eBay used because they're so expensive. This is like $9.97 new, so this is something I'm looking for. But yeah, eBay is pretty great. Next up, let's move to this app called Flow. I don't use it all the time, but it definitely is fun to use with Apple Pencil. It's kind of artsy, I guess, you can use this highlighter marker thing. It's just kind of aesthetic, fun to kind of play around with. Kind of like calming, I don't know, like therapeutic. I just like playing with apps that make use of the pencil. And yeah, it's just a fun app if you want to draw or sketch or whatever. I don't think it's for note taking, but it's more for creation of some kind. But yeah, definitely recommend this app if you're into drawing or doodling or whatever. I really do enjoy it, and I think it's free. Next up, I use Discord. I messaged some people on here, but I also mostly use it for when I get on online gaming or PC gaming with my friends. When we want to get on a Rainbow Six or Minecraft or GTA, we'll all start a call here in one of our servers. And yeah, I just like using it as an alternative to iMessage and Skype, and it's actually a really refined experience. Next up, I got Quizlet here, just one of the best apps of all time. I used this when I was in school, high school, and I plan on using this religiously during college. It's just very useful in remembering vocabulary and just terms maybe in history classes or just once again language classes. A very vital app when you are a student for sure. Next up, let's take a look at my dock here. I got iMessage. Who doesn't use that? So Safari is my browser of choice on iPad. I just enjoy it. I don't know, it's just really simple and just kind of minimal. I like it better than Chrome on the iPad, although I do use Chrome on my Mac. Next up, we got one of my favorite apps here. It's called Good Notes. This was like $8, but it is totally worth the price. It is phenomenal for note taking. I'm going to be using this just so hardcore when I'm in college for all my classes. I'm a big notebook person. I carried around a lot of, composition notebooks and like taking handwritten notes. But yeah, although my handwriting is terrible right now, this is just so great for taking notes. You can have different types of paper, blank, dotted, squared, bunch of different styles, to-do list, weekly planner, all this stuff. It's just great for going paperless if you are someone who likes to take handwritten notes or handwritten memos or whatever. Great app. I'll be talking about this in a top 5 apps for iPad Pro video coming soon. Next up, my mail client of choice is Gmail. I use it to answer all my business emails and whatever, especially on this device. I don't really care for the Apple one too much. I just like the clean look of this and how it's just really well integrated with Google, as you know. Next up, we got Google Docs. This is an app I use on the daily to, schedule content and just, create outlines for videos. So this is an upcoming video where I'm going to be talking about top 5 apps for iPad Pro. I typed this up this morning, so this is kind of what I base my A-roll off of, or my face-to-face stuff. So yeah, I'm always typing up stuff on Google Docs, whether on my Mac or on here, you know, editing and just reading off of it. Next up, we got Drive. I don't use this all the time anymore, but I did use this a lot in high school, and I know I will during college, so I just kind of have that in my dock. It's kind of like a hub for media that I have stored on here, you know, pictures, documents, and whatnot. Next up, I have the Files app, and as you know, with iPadOS, it is greatly enhanced. And although I'm not working with a lot of external storage right now, I plan on doing that, so I will be using this more in the future, you know, for downloads and just projects and more creative work. Next up, I have YouTube Studio. I am always on this app checking up on analytics, and believe it or not, I read most of all of your comments and try to respond to as many of them as I can. So yeah, I'm always seeing how the channel is going, checking up on it, seeing that things are running smoothly. So this is a very vital app in my creative workflow. Next up, I have the YouTube app. Who doesn't really? I love consuming content in here, especially with the 4 stereo speakers and just the beautiful LCD display. The colors are great, contrast is great, and it's just a very enjoyable device to watch media on. So I will definitely be watching this I Escaped from Apple video from Dave 2D later. Next up, we got Prime Video. I actually purchased a movie on here yesterday, one of my favorites of all time, Tron Legacy. And no, it's not because it's like a movie about computerized people and whatever. It's because the cinematography and the soundtrack in this movie is just unreal. It is such an inspiration to watch. I love it. It's art. It's a beautiful movie. I recommend you watch it if you haven't already. Just an amazing film. Would rate. I think the IMDb rating is stupid. I think that this rating right here, the 5 stars, is more accurate. I love it. I could watch it again and again. And I'm going to shut up about this now and move on here. Next up, we got Lightroom. I love using this app on iPad, especially to edit thumbnails. Although I've yet to do it more regularly, I just love how I can just kind of like adjust fine controls with the Apple Pencil here, highlight, shadows, whatever. So let's do like a local adjustment here. You can like color in certain parts of your image, and then you can like adjust the exposure, you know, make it lighter, darker, adjust contrast. So kind of like isolate what you're doing here. Love this app for photo editing. It's really fun on the iPad Pro, once again, with the Apple Pencil. Next up, we got the Notes app. I actually love using this app to just kind of write little memos and just plan out my day. And obviously Apple makes the Pencil and this app, so just the experience is just so fluid. You see no pixels. It's like you're writing with some kind of ink on this display. It's just so fun to play around with. But yeah, I like using this app just to jot down quick memos and notes, and it's just an amazing experience once again because it's made by Apple and designed for Apple Pencil. Next up, we got my music platform of choice, Spotify. I just like the way it looks and how I can like control it on all my different devices, cross-platform, you know, Windows, Mac, Android, iOS. And, you know, they have a really great music selection. So I was playing some of The Weeknd a minute ago. I also like Childish Gambino. Man, he's a great artist. How is Donald Glover so talented? The world will never know. Moving to the second page of apps here, I have FL Studio, and although I have absolutely no idea how to use this, I plan on using it someday. I bought this like 2 years ago because I thought I was going to get into music production, but I never did. But it's just a super cool app. I mean, like people like Avicii use like the full FL or Fruity Loops version on PC. This has to be, or bear some semblance to it, you know, have some of its capabilities. So yeah, if I ever wanted to make my own track, I would definitely use this over GarageBand. Next up, we got another expensive creative app. LumaFusion, as you know, is just the video editor for iPad and iPad Pro. Although I don't really have use for this right now as I edit on Final Cut. If I ever had to edit on the go in a pinch, this is definitely a solution. Although I don't have enough like storage on my iPad to do this, if there's some way to, you know, like edit externally or something, or have all your footage on an external drive, I would definitely try this out. But yeah, it's just an amazing app and allows you to just have so much control over your footage, way more so than like iMovie and like other movie editor apps that you have on the App Store. Just, it's well worth the money that you'll pay for. And I'm going to go over this once again in my top 5 apps for iPad video that's coming next week. Next up, we got Notability. I used this throughout high school, and although I probably won't use it in college, it's definitely a great app, and I just have it on hand if I ever wanted to do some PDF alteration or just take some notes or whatever. It's very fluid, just like Notes, and I really do enjoy that. So yeah, another great note-taking app. Next up, we got Evernote. I'm not going to open it because I haven't even signed in yet. I plan on, you know, testing it out, but yeah, it's there. We got Google Calendar in case I want to use it, I guess. We got Google Translate. Everybody knows what that looks like. We have my business apps here. We have LinkedIn, Indeed, Jobs, PayPal. I get paid over PayPal from, you know, like promotional clients, so that's interesting. This is called Spark. This is an email client that I plan on using. I might make a video on that, but I don't know enough about it to talk about it right now. This is the AdSense app. I don't even know why I have that on here. It doesn't even work. Then I have Facebook in case I want to connect with a business or just connect with people, you know, if they're planning a party like grad parties and whatever. Not gonna open any of these. They're pretty boring. Next up, let's go to my utilities folder. I have Geekbench, surprise, surprise. And then I got Selvi PenScript, which is this awesome app, which again, I'll go over in my top 5 apps for iPad Pro. But basically, I'm gonna give you a little sneak preview here. You can handwrite to text. So I can say like, hi, my name is Noah. And there you go. It just translates it perfectly. It's funny because my handwriting is not the greatest. I write really, really fast, so I can actually write in cursive. Let's say, hi, my name is Noah. And there you go. It picked it up really great. I'm going to talk about this once again in my top 5 apps for iPad Pro, but I love this. It allows me to use the pencil and just not have to rely on a keyboard all the time. Obviously, it's not like the most ideal thing if you're like responding to like a long email or writing an essay, but it's definitely awesome when you're just jotting down a quick note or just needing to type something out or write something out real quickly in like iMessages or a short email or something. And last but certainly not least, I have Minecraft. Who would I be without this game? I just have it whenever I have like a long car ride or something. I don't really usually play on iPad or like mobile devices. I usually play on my gaming PC. And then I have Finger Driver. It's a fun game. I'm not even going to turn my iPad. I'm just going to try to play it sideways here for you. It's really frustrating when you first play it, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty addicting. And it's kind of hard to play sideways, but yeah, it's fun. And yeah, it's just a game that I have whenever I'm kind of bored. Oh, and before I forget, I have my Apple apps on my last page here hidden away. I kind of need them, but I don't want to see them, so I just tuck them on the last page and just have them, you know, kind of chilling there all alone, but together, you know. And that about wraps us up. I hope this video helped you out. I'd really appreciate it. Once again, if you'd smash that like button, leave me a comment if you have any questions or suggestions or opinions, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.